It's funny, Danny.
Good evening, everyone. Come to order. Apologies for the late starting, but you can blame me and Margaret France. Right. A problem shared is a problem halved. Right. Okay. Welcome to this Executive Cabinet meeting of Chorley Council. First item of business is any apologies for absence?
None received, Chair.
No, and they all look present and correct. Councillor Wilson is online. That's excellent. Next item is any declarations of interest anybody's got? No, can't see any. Okay. We move on to the minutes of the meeting of Thursday, the 11th of December, the last meeting. Has everybody got those? Is everybody happy with those? Moved by Councillor Lowe, seconded by Councillor Murray in a very small way. All those in favour, please show that they're taken as a true and correct record. Thank you for that. Right. Any public questions, please, Nina?
None received.
Great. Thank you, Nina. So we then move on very swiftly to item 4, which is the water supply contract award, which is my own item, which is detailed on pages 11 through to, I don't say it, it's page 11. 14, thank you very much, Chris. So this, as it explains in the recommendations, is to authorise the award of a 5-year contract for water and wastewater services for the Council's operational properties to Water Plus, effective from January 2026, and the annual contract value is approximately 180,000, subject to yearly adjustments in accordance with CPI, the Consumer Price Index. The recommendations in 3 and 4 will be for the leisure company meeting that we're going to have to follow this for those members who are leisure company directors. And item 5 is just for noting because the council pays for the leisure wastewater because the car parks are included in the agreements that we have with them. So obviously we have to dispose of water from our premises, particularly car parks, and doing this over a 5-year period mitigates, as it says in paragraph 6, risk of future price increases. There's a competitive process undertaken to ensure value for money, and the Water Plus will provide that consolidated billing and support to reduce the admin burden on the council. It details in the background to the report from paragraphs 11 onwards. We appointed a utility specialist, Inspired Energy, who undertook a competitive tender process for the council's water supply and wastewater contracts, covering all operationals, including those leisure assets. Current water retail margins are low, and therefore competition within that market is very limited, and a 5-year fixed term provides that stability and cost efficiency. It was issued to 3 suppliers because there was a limited number of suppliers, as it says on paragraph 13. We only got 1 bid back from Water Plus, which was reviewed and verified by the Inspired Energy, as detailed above. And basically, they benchmarked it against what you would expect to be spending, and it was deemed to be acceptable. We need to get that risk of future price increases out from the council's ongoing budget, and therefore the recommendations are as outlined to proceed on that basis. Happy to take any questions. None that I can see. In that case, I'm proposing that we make the recommendation in paragraph 2 and note paragraph 5. Oh, I can have a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Hilton. All those in favour, please show. That's moved and carried. Thank you. All good. Right. We move on to item 5, which is the draft budget update, which I'm delighted to say that Councillor Wilson will present because he's here to do it. I was the risk I might have to do it, for which I'm eternally grateful he is now here. But carry on, Peter.
Thank you, Chair, for that ringing endorsement.
Panto season never ended.
Right, so Chair, you see the report in front of you outlines the budget position and what we intend to consult the public on. So we can see that obviously we reach a balanced budget position, which of course we legally have to do. But that has meant some challenges for the council. It's meant some savings. We have made some significant savings in our internal works. We've saved over £1 million in terms of efficiencies and working in a smarter way. So obviously that's a challenge, but it's a challenge we've met. So as I say, the position in front of members is that we have a balanced budget set. There are a number of challenges there, not just in terms of the changes to government grants, as it says in the report, a number of the grants being taken away, and then we've got new fair funding settlement, and the idea is to consolidate a lot of those individual grants. We've also had changes to the business rates pooling system, which now effectively no longer exists. And we've had double demands, pressures on us, inflationary pressures as well. So clearly a lot of work goes into making sure that we do set a budget that is balanced, but at the same time allows us to still invest in our priority areas, and that's what this is proposing to do. So you can see there that we are looking at in order to help us balance the budget, we're proposing and consulting on a 2.99% increase in council tax. That is a proposal at this stage, is what we're consulting on. It's not a final decision. But with that, even with that increased share, as it says in the report, you can still see that Chorley will have the second lowest council tax in Lancashire. And when we put that into context and look at not just the level of council tax that we are taking being the second lowest, we look at what we're actually delivered and what we've delivered in recent years, but also what we're proposing in this budget. And in this budget, we have got a £59 million capital programme, which is looking to invest in our priority areas. Obviously, a significant part of that is town centre work, the redevelopment of our civic square. But we've also got a significant amount of money going into the leisure centre refurbs. We've got the decarbonisation of council's assets, and we've got work on play and open spaces as well. So it's a rounded package. It's a package of investment that helps the town, it helps villages, it helps people and individuals in our communities. So I think it's a very strong position to be in. It's a strong budget to be able to still invest significantly in our community, not seek extra support or help in any shape or form, that we can manage and we can make our own savings that we have done. And in addition to that, to actually still have a healthy position in terms of our reserves. And if you again go through the end of the report, you can see on page 28 there, we've got just over £11 million. So that's made up of 4.3 million in general reserves, and then the earmark reserves as well, just shy of £7 million. So I think overall, Chair, it's a good position to be in. We continue with our programme and priorities that we've outlined in the past in the corporate strategy meeting. We're not asking the council taxpayer of Chorley to go above and beyond, I don't believe, although any increase obviously does have an impact. But I still think that provides value for money, and that's what we intend to consult on. That's concluded, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Okay. Any questions, concerns, queries on all that? No? Sorry, Councillor Green. Russ?
Yeah, I just think it's very good actually, because if you look at inflation's been running at about 3.2% over 2025. Actually, this is a real terms reduction in council tax. So I think, that's quite a strong message if we can get that across. So well done to all you guys. I think that's really, really good in the present climate. So yeah, we'll really welcome this. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Green. Any other questions or comments on that? No? In that case, then, we are asked to note the recommendations in paragraph 3, which Peter has proposed. Can somebody second that, please? Yeah, Councillor Howarth, I'll take. And all those in favour, please show. That's done. Good stuff. Thank you very much. Right, the next item, which is related to that probably, is item 6, which is fees and charges for next year, 2026-27, linked to the budget, obviously. Peter, do you want to carry on, please?
Yep, so as the report says, it highlights the position in relation to fees and charges. The majority of fees and charges will be increased in line with inflation, and this is something we've discussed in the past about making sure that we don't have to get fall behind, as it were, by not increasing fees and charges. So the general approach is that we increase our charges by the same rate of inflation. Where we have differences to that is what's outlined in some of the recommendations. from paragraphs 2 to 11. So without reading them all word for word, just to give an overview, obviously we've got uplifts in the service charge at Strawberry Fields. We've got an increase in the leisure fees, again, that's slightly above the CPI. Likewise, in our council-owned properties, what we are charging in terms of the rents is going up by 4.8%, and also the personal charges as well for those at Cotswold. And again, the service charges at Tatton are increasing. And some minor uplifts there on the CCTV admin fees, and also we're looking at the reviewing charges in the kennelling of stray dogs. Again, that's fallen significantly behind the actual cost of the provision of that service. So we don't actually intend to make that up in one go, but we do intend to increase it in order to try and reduce the gap. And then we've also got the other areas where we're not increasing it by inflation, such as garden waste, which we are freezing. So on the positive, it's not all one way where we're increasing more than inflation. We've got garden waste, which of course is being frozen, and that follows obviously last 2 years where the charges have gone up to reflect that. As we said, we're not increasing it this year. So that's a brief overview, Chair. Obviously, the members can read the report and I'm sure if there are any questions to ask.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Yeah, right. Fine with that. Any questions or comments on the fees and charges element of the report? I think it's fairly comprehensive, and we have discussed this at previous meetings in various guises and places, many of us in this room. Okay, proposed by Councillor Wilson along the lines of recommendations 2 to 11. Apologies, 2 to 11. Councillor Lowe is seconding that. All those in favour, please show. Good stuff. Right, that is passed. We now move on to our proposal to exclude the public and press before we can move on to part 2 papers. That's proposed by me. So we'd like to second that. Thank you, Councillor Murray. All those in favour of excluding the press and public.